Listen. You said,
Yeah.
is your headphone? Is it?
Yeah, so
Well, good to go. Let's do the show. Let's give the people a show. Okay. Jaded, lack of sleep is affecting me now.
the show for your face.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Spurs on Elegbete TV radio. My name is Idafi Matthew Esioganeg. We love to cover the Elegbete One of Sports, and I gladly oblige you. Thank you very much for always being there. Every one of you, whether you're streaming live on the YouTube channel, on Facebook, or Instagram, or you're listening via the app. Yes, I can't say it enough. I keep saying it. We have a mobile app now, and it's up and running. It's one of the best in the world, but definitely the best in Nigeria. And I'm not bragging when I say that. It is the best in Nigeria. Within the last okay, it came out on Saturday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's about 3 days or 4 days now. We've had like almost 40,000 hits on that app. Thank you very much, guys, for making that happen. That's not me, but that's you. That's all you. That's how much love you have for this brand, how much love you, how much support you're giving to our brand. Thank you very much. We're grateful. We love you guys to the very, very end. But then let's get in on the sporting matter. Today, it's Tuesday. Normally we don't do live streaming on Tuesday, but our producer yesterday was his birthday. He's got 1 week off to have fun and enjoy himself. He deserves it. If there's anybody who's made that much sacrifice and deserves a break, that's the man. So I'm here, but I'm not here alone. If you're watching via what's it called Instagram, you obviously would see that I'm not alone in the studio. There is Emmanuel Sebastian. I don't even know how to rotate on Instagram anymore. I'm a bushman. But then Emmanuel Sebastian is in the building anyway. All right. And it's going to like really, really bring up all the conversation around the Super Eagles list, the selection, who's making a return and who's not making a return, what's going on and what's not going on in the beautiful world of sports. We'll look at all of that anyway and see how it goes. Okay, I found out how to do it. Okay, that's Emmanuel Sebastian on Instagram. This app keep changing. I'm getting old. I'm not catching up with what's going on. Okay, because that's what the book of I say, Prosper Gorendo. I don't port go the app. Oh, yeah, thank you very much for being on the app. And those of you who are still listening on the website, www.elegbetevradio. Thank you very much. So today, it's going to be all of us. Okay, so I know that the center point of the discussion is the Super Eagles list. I'm going to give you the news from around the world first, and hopefully Peter Iwanode will join us later. So if you have a message to send on WhatsApp, maybe you're busy in the office, you don't want to make a call, the number to call is 080-342-77165. Now, subsequently on the Facebook page, I've been running the live stream on my personal page. But now you can go and like our Elevated TV radio fan page, because from the month of January, that's where we'll be doing our live streaming from. So you would always be there. But I mean, we needed to like put people in and then just switch immediately and get everybody confused. So if you want to send a message, you want to just send us a message on the conversation that we're going to be having on WhatsApp, it's 080-342-77165. But if you want to call in, you're in a place where you can call in 07025000069. Emmanuel Sebastian, want to say hi to the people. Emmanuel Sebastian is looking all footballish.
Good morning to everyone who's tuned in on the show today. It's another beautiful Tuesday morning. Like we always do, we give you some sporting gist and some sporting conversations. I mean, the top of the list now is the Super Eagles. Right from when we did the interview with General, it's been trending. Conversations coming from the interviews and all that. And now the list was released yesterday for the next international break. So that is the number one talking point now if you want to talk about Nigerian football. So we're here for that, and hopefully you enjoy the show.
Okay, so Emmanuel Sebastian is here. You know how it is. It grieves me a whole lot, putting all the questions Next week, hopefully, if I don't travel before Tuesday, we might get Amaju Pinnick here to answer some questions as well, just like Genetro did. So we're going to try that and get everybody involved. I think people appreciated the fact that we got the fans involved with the last interview we're going to draw. So we would try as much as possible to do that. But you know that Amaju Pinnick is very, very slicky. Hard to hold him down. It's very, very hard. But we'll try and see what we can do there. But then, if you've got questions, maybe you don't want to send message on WhatsApp, you don't want to call in, you can also drop your message on the YouTube live page. When you're watching there, you're also watching via Facebook, you can drop a comment there as well on Instagram. Let me check Instagram. I've seen some few comments here and there, whether it's greetings. J Daily One, you see, I seem not to be able to find it the Play Store. That is if you're using iOS. If you're using iPhone, for now we're not on iOS, we're on Android. Just type ELEGBETETVRADIO. The thing about app and the App Store is it doesn't just come up. When you put a new app, we've risen up remarkably anyway. When you put a new app, it goes down. As people begin to download and give it rating, that's why you will hear that an app was put in the store and then they deleted it because it got poor rating, like the e-naira, for instance. But then if you get to use this app and then you find out that the interface is beautiful, it's good to use, I mean, I think it's worth it when you give us the rating. But give us rating based on usage. Don't give us rating just because you like us, okay? Yeah, give us rating based on your satisfaction, customer satisfaction. Just give us rating on that and then put your reviews. That's how the app will rise to the very top. But if you type Elegbete TV Radio, not one word, Elegbete TV Radio, you will scroll down, you'll see there. It's obviously there. Every time I check, I always see there. It's still there. Beautiful reviews have been coming. Thank you to everybody who's been giving us all those wonderful reviews. Now let's hit the ground running and start with the news around the world. Then I'll come to Emmanuel Sebastian, who would prepare us with everything he's got. According to the BBC, these are the gossip or the rumors that are going around. Newcastle United plan to announce their new manager this week, and with Villarreal's former Arsenal boss, Unai Emery, who's also former Sevilla's boss, who's 49 years old, and the English press call him Mr. Good Evening. He's now emerging as the latest. Newcastle United are funny. You know why? They bought this club like about 3 going to 4 weeks now. They've not been able to tie up a deal for a manager. Yesterday, the coach of Tottenham Hotspur was fired, and as at today, before the day runs out, obviously, Newcastle already have Antonio Conte as a coach. So it's not just about money. This is where you say money can buy you happiness. They have as much money as they have. But I think almost all the big coaches are weighing option and thinking, if I go to Newcastle, definitely you're not going to go to Newcastle and win a title in the next 2 or 3 seasons. So why go and waste your time? And then you might also get relegated. No coach wants to sustain their record. So all the big coaches are exempting themselves, especially Antonio Conte. Yamiti was arguing with me the other day that if there's good money, Antonio Conte will go. Can you see what I was saying now? Look at Antonio Conte going to a club that have lesser money than Newcastle. The truth of the matter is, when you're a big coach, there are certain places where you don't want to be part of, certain conversation you don't want to join. Thank you very much. Those who have seen it are already screen grabbing it and sending it the message across so that you can see. I mean, since somebody just searched for it now and screen grab it, Oyeomoba screen grabbed it and sent is there on the page. It's Elevated TV Radio. So don't tell me that you can find it on the app anyway. Well, Antonio Conte is set to sign some people say 15 million, some say 18 million, some say 20 million. Well, we're there. It's just running. Okay. Well, within that range, but definitely will be signing today. Antonio Conte is set to sign a 20 million pounds contract as Tottenham manager, with sports players ready for the former Chelsea and Inter Milan Juventus boss, 52, to take training on Tuesday, which is today. Okay, Aston Villa have made informal contact with former Roma boss, the same coach that Newcastle were planning to sign, Paulo Fonseca, as they consider potential replacement for Dean Smith. Dean Smith is not doing well. I tell you, if you want your team to make progress, don't get an English coach. That's something you shouldn't do. You want to progress as a football club and you're investing money, don't get an English coach. As Sayad have told Barcelona officials, they will have to visit Qatar to agree a deal for Xavi, who is 41 years old, to take charge of the club he played for as a player. Xavi is already giving Barcelona a list of 4 players he wants to sign, including Manchester United France midfielder Paul Pogba, 28, who is out of contract at the end of the season, according to El Nacional in Spain. Conte asked Tottenham Hotspur chairman Daniel Levy for a transfer budget of about £237 million to buy 6 Serie A based players. You see that thing that I always say, that coaches are also spies, secret economic agent for their countries. Every time you employ a coach, you notice that they begin to sign players from their country. There is a reason why. That also helps their country's economy until Nigerian coaches begin to think in that light. Let's say, for instance, a Nigerian coach goes and signs a club in Ghana, takes like 3 or 4 Nigerian players. A Nigerian coach go and sign for a club in Egypt. All of that is geared towards growing the GDP of your country. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you would always argue blindly. But let's move further down the road and see. Tottenham Hotspur are set to play. Remember, not too many Italian. I don't know if any Italian player have played for Tottenham before now, but watch and see how many Italian players will play for this club in these 18 months that this contract is going to be signed for, and hopefully they will extend it. Tottenham are set to pay Nuno Espirito Santo a severance package of £40 million, but a clause in the Portuguese coach contract would have allowed Spurs to sack him for free at the end of the season if they had failed to finish in the top 6 of the Premier League, but they were not willing to wait to the end of the season because that would be too disastrous. They'll be spending money and they don't want to wait, so they'd rather pay the £40 million. Liverpool and Arsenal are among the clubs who have made offers to sign Marco Asensio from Real Madrid in January, along with Juventus, AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund, with the German club the favorite to sign the Spain attacking midfielder, who is 25, according to El Nacional in the Spanish city. Okay, AC Milan are preparing to offer Swedish strikers Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who broke the heart of Jose Mourinho, his former coach at Manchester United and Inter Milan, with a free kick that caused the defeat of AS Roma at home. He's 40 years of old. They want to give him a contract extension on the same terms as his current deal. Arsenal are considering a move for Torino and Italy striker. I think this is a good move anyway. Andre Belotti. I don't know if any Italian have played for Arsenal anyway. Remind me if there is any Italian that have played for Arsenal. Andre Belotti, who is 27. I think that's a good move anyway because this guy runs like Fifi Rat. He can also help in that attack. Okay, official, I see you, Brendo, on Instagram. Arsenal will make an offer to sign Serbia striker Luka Jovic, 23, on loan from Real Madrid this January. He's really not done well there. He went back to Eintracht Frankfurt to still do well. But you could tell that this guy is a striker, he's a good player, but will he deliver in Arsenal? I don't know. Juventus, okay? Juventus may be forced to sell Wales midfielder Aaron Ramsey, 30, or United States midfielder Weston McCain, 23, to fund moves for Fiorentina Serbian striker Dusan Vlahovic. The good thing with this 21-year-old is that he wants to go to Juventus, even though Borussia Dortmund's Belgian midfielder Asa Wilson is also on the list of players that they want to sign. But when you get a 32-year-old because you want to sell a 30-year-old, it tells you how bad that 30-year-old Aaron Ramsey really is. Paris Saint-Germain are contemplating rescinding the 2-year contract of Spain defender Sergio Ramos, or you call him Sergeant Ramos, 35, who joined on a free transfer from Real Madrid in July, but is yet to play for the French club because of a calf problem. This injury was there. Let's not forget, this injury was there before they signed him, so it's not like he got it while playing or while training with Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain are set to make an official offer to sign Portugal defensive midfielder João Palhinha, 26, from Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon is smiling right now the way it is. But let's come back and deal with the issues on ground. There's a very, very big one that is rubbing the minds of everybody, and that is the Super Eagles team list. Okay, so let me check if there are messages already on Facebook. On Facebook, Gospel Bukamena say, Bros, maybe I don't port go the app. Well, thank you very much. Daniel Davis, he said, thanks for the update. Thank you very much. Oguchi Adoka Matthias, he said, the app is confirmed. Thank you very much. Johnson Daily, he said, kindly drop the app link because I don't search tire for the app.
You need to scroll. Just
search and scroll up, bro. Okay. Akande Ajimakran Taurid, he said, God is your strength. May Allah bless you more. ELEGBETETVRADIO. Thank you very much for that one. And let me see who's on YouTube. Okay. Ibi Dakbo, Ibi Kule. I like that name. Ibi Dakbo. I don't know. It's just the name that I don't know the meaning of, but I just love the name. Akbon Alive anyway for my language. He said true. Okay, so Emmanuel Sebastian, is your call now. I'm gonna come to you. I wish I could go sit where you're sitting and then I'll be here. You'll be here. All right, let's get Arturo Lupoli. Who's Arturo Lupoli? Is that the meaning of Ibi Dakbo? Ibikule. Okay. I'm joking. I'm joking. I like to play a lot. Okay. Good afternoon from here. I'm Tochuku listening to you. Listen to you via your app all the way from Bangkok in Thailand. I've been your big fan from Brilla FM. God will continue to lift you higher. Thank you very much. God bless you. I love that. All the way from Thailand. Isn't that what we pray for? Like our voice should be heard all over the world. Thank you very much. And send me any requests. Send me any request. Don't ask me to send you money you cannot get. But send me any requests, songs you want to listen to, topic you want us to discuss, anything. Ask me any question. I will answer you honestly. All right, let me hear from you, bro.
All right. So the arguably the biggest talking point.
Yeah.
First off, I needed to tell the listeners when the remaining 2 parts of Genetros interview will be released. Because we'll be releasing it bit by bit.
Okay, so let me explain. Let me explain that, and this goes back again to the fact that you can't please the world, okay? And don't live your life trying to please anybody. Just do what you think is good for you and for posterity, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you do what is good for just you, you might like do the wrong thing. Okay, greed might come in. Just do what is right. So before now, when we do interviews, we put up, these interviews always run for like an hour. And everybody keeps saying, oh, that the interview is too long. How can you be giving us such a long interview? Can't you just break it in pieces? Okay. So I looked at it as, okay, it would be rude of me to always do interview and bump it up like, oh, take it or leave it. So even before the Genetro interview, if you notice when we do our Tuesday show, we try to cut it in bits and pieces so that some people will tell you, I don't want to listen to the whole thing. There's just a part of it that I want to hear. There's just this talk where you talk about Paul Fonseca. That's what I want to watch again. Or where you talk about Sime, where you talk about John Gallo, this one. So I told producer, I said, look, producer, a brand that does not listen to its customers would soon go into extinction. Okay, we don't know it all. And we're not producing. Yes, I have data. I've been using data all my life. But the thing is, you must listen to your customers. And if your customers say do it this way, then that's where you go. The reason why everybody is wanting this Genetro on is because it's a big story, and especially it's journalists that are angry the most. You know why? I know why they're angry. The journalists just want the whole thing to come out so that they can have their multiple news and meet their news quota. But but that's not really what we need to do. And I went back to study almost every other news medium in the world, how they break news and interviews. So they break it in pieces, right? It is in Nigeria here where a 1 hour show, you would do like 20 talking points. We have partnership with Talking Sports now. What I noticed, Talking Sports since 5 a.m. that will be on. I've been doing only 4 talking points. Only 4 talking points since 5 a.m. till now. And they will continue that for the whole day. They will just give you perspective, give you different angle. The big number one on the talking point is the sacking of Nuno Espirito Santo and then the employment of Antonio Conte. So they now branch it. They tell you what Nuno has done, why the team played the way he played, and then they take you to Antonio Conte. Everywhere he's coached, he's a serial winner when it comes to winning league title at Juventus, at Chelsea, at Inter Milan, how he manages his team, and the fact that if he comes to your team, he wants control. He's the Alex Ferguson kind of coach. So they give you all of those perspectives. But us, the way we do our thing, they want you to give you 400 stories per minute. That's why where I used to work, I remember we talk very fast so that we have so much to say, we have lesser time. But now I decided, you know what, when we do this interview, let's not bump everything once. The angle where I talked about Salisu Yusuf is different from the side where I talk about the players. And don't forget that it's the fun that we're asking the questions. So it's not even me, it's not scripted. I don't even know. The questions come in and we're there. There were even more questions than the time allotted for the show. I decided to break it in pieces and make it down. So the ones that are coming scheduled already, that are coming, I know that the next one is coming on the 5th. It's going to come out on the 5th. And then after that one, 3 days later on the 8th. And then eventually the full interview, the full video, about 57 or 58 minutes, will come out on the 10th of November. And so you get everything, and then we're off our back. And then we'll start working on how to get Amaju to be here again, to be online with us on Tuesday, because I'm going to be off the studio from next week. I've got like a 10 to 15 days trip to do in Abuja. I've got some production work to do for our other company, at least, and some production work that needs to be done. We've been postponing it for a while now. We need to start our production and get everything going. So that's the way it is. But let's come back to you. And the questions are your fans, everybody wants me to answer. And for the record, somebody said that I'm the PA for Ahmad Pinnick. I'm not. Okay. Somebody says listening. I wish you put your name anyway. Okay. His name is not there, but he said, listening all the way from Ghana, the reception is exceptional. Esuku Victor from Mungwa, Ghana. Mungwa. My first time of hearing that.
Exactly, I'm hearing that.
First time I'm hearing that name. I don't know where Mungwa is, but I know Volta region. I know Accra. I know Kumasi. I know other place. I know some part of Ghana, but Mungwa in Ghana. This is the first time I'm hearing it. Thank you very much, Isuku Victor, for that one. Anywhere you're listening to us from, you can always tell us so that we know how far we are reaching. Now, Emmanuel Sebastian is something.
All right, so the Super Eagles list for the 2022 World Cup qualifiers against Liberia and Cape Verde is out. It came out yesterday. The list broke out on the Super Eagles official social media pages. And let's start from
before you go. Eze Patrick said 15 days, no show. There'll be show. Emmanuel Sebastian and a few other people will find a way. And even from there, I'll find a way. That's technology, right? I'll find a way to be on the show. Worst case scenario, if I am not in the studio, what I will be able to do is, don't worry, we'll find a way. I'll give you my one on that. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to get it done. It's just definitely going to happen. I can't also just shut down my show for that long, even though what I'm doing is very, very important. It's vital. We're actually pushing for something that is something that's never been done in this part of the world before. So even us that are trying to do it, sometimes I go to, that's why these days I don't sleep. Look at me, I'm looking so stressed. Even my dadana is suffering. So we've got to do it. We can't just sit here and pretend like we don't do it. This guy saying Nungwa, not Mungwa. Okay, now Mungwa. Okay, Nungwa. Sorry, Nungwa.
Did he spell it? What was the spelling?
Now N-U-N. Sorry, N-U-N-G-U-A. Nungwa, not Mungwa. Sorry, bros. Okay, so go ahead.
All right. So the goalkeepers, I think we pretty much don't have a problem with the goalkeeping department. So 3 goalkeepers called up: Maduka Okoye, Daniel Akpeyi, and Francis Uzo. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Defenders, William II is there. Chidozia Jamilu Collins, Ola Aino, Kevin Pogba.
Coach, this coach always wanted Akpoguma.
Leon Balogun, Kenneth Omero, Zaidu Sanusi is back in the team, and Abdullahi Shehu. Now, the talking point from this defenders list is the return of Zaidu Sanusi and
the absence of Tyrone Oboye.
Tyrone Oboye is absent. Calvin Bassey. A lot of people thought that a white general could call up a player and not even give him 1 cap. I felt there was no need for that because of the nature of the game.
My problem with people saying that is, did you watch the training? Because
there's a lot of angles to pick from this list. This is just one of them.
Okay, so let's break it down. So to save us, we're not going to talk about goalkeeper because goalkeeper is what it is. Yeah. So to break it down, let's start with the defenders, raise the questions in defense, and then we'll go to the midfield, raise the question with the midfield, and then we'll go to the attack. How about that?
Yeah, fine. Okay, so you're talking about you're saying something about Calvin Bassey and why he wasn't capped.
So Calvin Bassey, it's not like there is no rule that says once you're invited to a national team, you get capped. A coach has the tactics. There is a reason why he's playing the way he's playing. Blooding new players after you had lost your first game. Don't forget, you lost your first game at home. Now the group is dicey. If we had won in Lagos, I'm sure going to Yaoundé to play against Central African Republic, we most likely would have said, okay, let's do some experiment and try with another player. But we've been boxed into a position, and then don't forget that Cape Verde had won their game. So it was like, okay, if we lose this game again, we might go to second instead of being first. So let's consolidate and win. And then we were not winning with large margin. Okay, it was 2 goals to nothing. Central African Republic game was difficult for us, and that always happens. Most times the big teams get to suffer against a small team. Now, bringing in a new player, there is what we call team chemistry. Even if you're playing PlayStation, you notice that team chemistry takes time to mix, and then understanding the player. If it doesn't fit in, and remember on the day in Cameroon, in Yaoundé, I think Yaoundé or Douala. In Douala, the most important player on that team was the guy playing from left fullback. He was going and coming back. What's his name?
Jamilu Collins.
Jamilu Collins was contributing very well. How do you pull him out and bring in Calvin Bassey? And how are you sure that it's going to measure up to that standard? Knowing fully well that the players up front were no longer tracking back as you expect them to do. I'm not holding brief for Genotro, but I'm just saying that this attitude of Nigerians wanting to coach, and we don't have Nigerian coaches in the top 100 bracket of African coaches. Top 100. I'm not talking top 10. Top 100 bracket of African coaches. There's no Nigerian coach there. So if you guys know this much, we will be going abroad to go and get a coach. So people should sometimes chill. The fact
So
that
we had the likes of Amunike and
what club is he coaching? What club has he coached?
At least we went to Egypt. He coached the club in Egypt.
No,
and
which team?
Yeah.
How long did he stay?
Yeah, that's the thing. But I know Emmanuel Amunike coached the team in Egypt.
He coached the team in Egypt for how long? And then he went to Sudan or Tanzania. How long? That's see in your profile. That's a journeyman job. You're not going to stand up and say, let's say for instance, let's be very honest. Will you call a guy who's just coming to journalism for 3 months a journalist?
No.
Why? You as you are, some people still call you upcoming.
Yeah, true.
If people still call you upcoming for doing something consistently since 2017 up until now, who's in Iman Amunike? Because he won under 17 this thing. Who again? Name another Nigerian coach. Sam Sisasa never went to the Nations Cup. Got gold, silver and bronze, and another silver from under 20, silver and bronze from the Olympics. Yes, good coach, but where is he now? He's been banned. His case just got thrown out of the court in the US. Name another Nigerian coach.
How about Gabon?
Coach where? Stand up, always coming in as a stopgap.
Because in as much as we say we want a home-based coach, General, but we need a home-based coach.
Nigerian coach. Don't stop it. Just say Nigerian coach.
A Nigerian coach, rather. So the names that comes up are these names I just mentioned.
Sunday said.
Coach
Nigerian team had a fight. Coach a club in Europe had a fight. Not gotten a job since. Name a coach now. See, because we are. This thing of us feeling like we know more than everybody. Who do we have? We don't have anybody. Even in journalism, in sports journalism, right? Yeah. We not get anybody. There's nobody in Nigerian sports journalism that could measure up. And I know people that are listening now will be very angry with me, like the journalist people in your group. They'll all be angry with me. We not get anybody. All our journalists are rubbish, upcoming, not good enough. Just maybe five. If at the most 5. I've seen Nigerian journalists at international competition as against their foreign counterparts. It's not about equipment, it's not about facility. We just don't have a clue of what we're supposed to do. We go to competition to go and be running after FA president and FA chairman. That's why most of our journalists, once Nigeria get knocked out of a tournament, they are all out of the tournament. Is that journalism? That's escort service. That's not journalism. Nigeria don't get knocked out of the tournament. Their interest is up. They're waiting for their counting out to their flight. That's not it. The organization send you to a tournament to go and cover a tournament. You should be giving us update report, proper report, giving us some stories that people never thought about. Nigerian journalists will still be in a tournament, and still be telling you a story that's on the limit. See, let's not even go there. So we're not in that place where we like to put ourselves, this whole umbrella of giant of Africa. We are super opinionated. Everybody should follow what we do. A coach is the person who determines and decide who should be. Do you know that if Jurgen Klopp was coaching the Super Eagles and Liverpool was the Super Eagles, for instance, you know how many people will kill Jurgen Klopp for having people like Xherdan Shaqiri on the bench and never using him? Having people like a player who helped them to beat Barcelona. Having, what's it called? That Belgian boy that helped them to beat Barcelona in that 4-0 game. Origi, for having him, he's not injured, not using him. Nigerians will kill him. But because he's a club coach, we keep quiet. If that was a Nigerian coach, we would kill him. That's just the way we do things. We don't want the coaches to take their decision. We think we know it all, but we don't know anything. And I'm not afraid to say, well, look at this selection. First off, what do you look at when you make a selection? You look at, okay, we need actually 2 draws to get past this group. 2 draws in the sense that if we draw against Liberia, we draw against Cape Verde, we will go through. But we want to win, to get the monkey off the back of the coach. Like, win against Liberia, win against Cape Verde, it is a fantastic one because that gives keep your record straight. The people you have on this squad, the regulars, the people that will start this game in the defense, William Troost-Ekong definitely will start. Leon Balogun will start unless he's injured. Yeah. And then Jamilu Collins would also start because he had a good game in the last time in Abdulman. And then maybe if he wants to play 3 at the back, it could be Troost-Ekong, Kevin Akpoguma, and Leon Balogun. Those 3. Or probably Kenneth Omero for Leon Balogun. Those 3. And then you have Zaidu Sanusi and Jamilu Collins. So whoever is not here, it's not like, oh, the person is not there. It means that the person is missing, that the team will suffer because the person is not there. If you have another question, bros, I'm waiting.
Now the right back position. Looking from that list, the only right back I see there is Ola Aino and maybe Shehu Abdullahi. He can also play as a right back. Chidozie Awazim can also deputize as a right back.
So there's not
the
only
omission of Tyron Egboyi.
Okay, so I don't know why. I was worried too when I saw the list. Let me be very honest. I was worried too. But then
it will always happen with every list.
Yes.
There must be one player.
But then again, the coach must maybe be calculating: is this guy getting enough playing time in his club? Should I give him this one? Like, okay, let me give you this bye. Next international break, I would invite you because you also have to rotate.
He's playing now with Venezia.
Yeah. He just got started playing regularly. You don't want to breach it. So let's leave him to establish himself there and then give other people the chance to prove themselves. These are not like, we're not playing against top countries in the world. We're just playing football against countries that we're ordinarily supposed to beat. And if the system that we requested for is now a 3-5-2, is what he wants to play, then all of this drama of natural right fullback and natural left fullback doesn't really count.
Yeah, wing backs. All right, so I don't know the defense, but that's about it. And the return of Zaid Sanusi as well. This is a guy who's
last time out we complained that he wasn't invited.
Yeah, we complained, and this is a guy that found it tough this season. He's been in and out of the FC Porto side. I mean, he's playing Champions League football, and he played in the FC Porto's last game, and he gave a good account of himself. So it's good to see Zaid Sanusi back in the team.
True.
As well. Abdullahi Shehu, this.
You don't like it.
You
don't like it.
People, it's just he plays in Cyprus, Omonia, and he keeps getting cold. He keeps getting cold. I mean, he's versatile. You can't take that away from him. He's one of the utility players we have in the squad. He can play as a DM. He can play as a right back. Even for his club, he plays right midfield as well.
Okay, so
what's it about Abdullahi?
Okay, so Emmanuel, this one I'm not going to analyze. Let me teach you something about Nigeria football, and it will help you as you grow in this industry. Because I mean, seeing you, I feel very, very excited. Like, man, you've grown faster than I anticipated. But let me just teach you this thing. There is not a single coach of Nigerian national team that can come and get past the politics of the game. You must play the politics to survive. And one of the politics of survival in Nigeria, leave all these things that we see in the front. There is one salient response that Genetro gave in his interview that nobody mentioned at all. Everybody went silent and mute on it, and I'm shocked. When we raised it, I'm not sure we played, but on that day, I'm not sure that one has come up. When we raised the question that, what's it called? Funny Bone asked about the 2018 World Cup. There's a very salient line he used. Was very salient, but he demonstrated it. It's a very key thing that works in Nigeria. That he was trying to make changes, and the organs at the top said, no. And he was a new coach at the time. No, you cannot remove him. He's the guy that is giving them problem. And he left him. That's to tell you that in Nigeria, apart from coaching, apart from drawing tactics, apart from deciding how you go, you must play the politics of the country everywhere. And I think it was
quite a few people spotted that, though.
Yeah,
few people spotted that.
I think it was Aristotle or someone or Plato that says that the smartest of human species are the ones who are most quick to adapt to every environment that they find themselves. I don't know which of those two or somebody else, but one of those guys said that adaptation is how you grow above people. If you go to Italy today, one of the first rules that will make you easily get accepted is you speak the language. So whatever you do, you must learn to speak the language. Then the next thing, you accept their food. You begin to learn how to eat pasta and love it. Don't eat pasta with a frown on your face. You begin to eat pasta, love tomato, love lasagna, risotto, and then you become a part of them because you're hanging out with Italians. You're going to eat with them. You're going to be on the same table. They study your manner, your response, your body language when you're eating the food. Are you disgusted by the food or you love the food? So this man came in. That's exactly what Clement Vesterhoff did. See, the reason why Amokachi was taken ahead of Samson Sessa was not because he didn't pass that, Sessa didn't pass that ball to Rashidi Yakini against Cote d'Ivoire, as people think in 1993. The reason was that Amokachi had become a power block from the north. The northern part of Nigeria does not produce too many players, but when they produce one or two, look carefully, they get ahead of everybody. Amokachi was destroyed in 98. Akpobore was from a minority tribe. He was Nigeria's most informed striker in 98. But guess what? They dropped him and picked Amokachi to the World Cup. It's called the politics of the environment you find yourself. That happens everywhere. Baggio was taken to the 1998 World Cup, even though he wasn't good enough. Baggio was great in 90. He was great in 94. In 98, he was shit. But the politics, the coach needed him to go. He dropped somebody that was better and took Baggio. It happens everywhere. The politics of sports also made Romario go to the World Cup in 94. Yes, they won it, but we saw what happened. Romario was not part of the qualifiers until the last game against Uruguay, where he came in with an helicopter. He didn't train with the squad. He came in. If that happened in Nigeria, the whole world would catch fire. He came in on match day and scored 2 goals. They qualified for the World Cup. They were struggling. But Carlos Alberto Pereira didn't want him because Carlos Alberto Pereira was a disciplinarian. But then the president of the country then wanted Romario because Romario happened to come from the same hood where the president came from. And the president told him that if you don't take him, I'm going to fire you. There's nothing you can do. We've not been winning the World Cup since 70, so if we don't win this one, the world will not end. Romario went to the World Cup, and Brazil won the World Cup. Sometimes he walks well, sometimes he doesn't. We had, Giovanni Eba here in this studio. This is not me, it's on our page. You can go and we ask him, with all the goals you were scoring for Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, how come you didn't play for the national team? He said, this was his word, I was invited by the coach, Wadale Luzabongo. Go and listen to it, it's on our page. And the coach told me, you are the best striker we have currently. But we can't play you because politically, there are people who think that you are not an homeboy because you left the country very early, that your playing for the national team is like glorifying European football more than glorifying Brazilian football. So whether you fit into my tactics or not, I can't play you. I'm going to play homeboys. It happens everywhere. Let's not sit here and behave like, oh, we don't know. When we pretend like we don't know our country, it pisses me off. Just reminds me of what Ireke at Ireke_AFC said. He said Nigerians are just being sentimental. They know all these things. And it's true. So when you look at Ahmed Musa making the Super Eagles team, Shehu Abdullahi, Zaidu Sanusi, Jamilu Collins, when you hear those names in the national team, it is both footballing and political. The earlier we accept it and know, and if anybody come here and tell me, is that the normal thing? And I'm going to ask, is there anything normal in Nigeria? Where in the world do we even do normal things? That's not where we do normal things. Last week, British people said that they are going to cut off the French people. Macron came out and said, okay, British people, you can't fish on our water again. Your trailer will not pass our road again. The conversation have changed. Nothing is normal. Everybody play the card that they have. Amokachi was a golden boy of northern football. Yes, he can play football. He was a golden boy of northern football. They look at Samson Sessa. He comes from a region that doesn't have a voice. He's an job boy. You can, he will be in the team, but we can cut him off. Let me give you another good example of this political card. Nigeria had played the World Cup, the qualifier for the World Cup. They made the list. They sent the list to the World Cup, right? We played a friendly match in Enugu against Georgia, and we won 5-1. Period to the USA 94 World Cup. And out of nowhere, Tijani Babangida showed up, and it was blistering. But remember, it's a friendly game. Was submitted at least. They look inside that team. Victor Ikpeba plays from the left. Had nothing to do with Tijani Babangida. Political pressure came up, and they said they should drop Victor Ikpeba for Tijani Babangida, who plays on the right. You know why Finidi George was too good to drop in 94. So they should drop Victor Ikpeba for him. And at the end of the day, it was difficult. They took Tijani Babangida to the World Cup, even though he wasn't registered. But they took him to the World Cup, got all the allowance that players that were registered got. It's not in this country. Why are we pretending like we're dummies? Why not? So whether we like it or not, every coach that comes here, most of the coaches that have failed, not just because of results, they come in, they want to just do tactics, do their normal coaching job, and don't play the politics, and they're easily knocked out. Because when these coaches are not going to be paid their salaries, when these coaches are going to be rebelled against, you're not going to be there. Social media don't select teams. Social media don't win matches. WhatsApp group don't select teams. WhatsApp group don't win matches. Right? There are players we want, but at the end of the day, they just might not get it because when you balance the tactical side and the political side, you need to get something. It might sound strange, but if you're a good student of history, go back. We're sitting here the other day when we were arguing that one player is not playing matches now. Why is he making the national team? And I reminded you of Austin Eguavoen. Remember, Austin Eguavoen was without club, not just without club, was suspended for 1 whole year, but he played every match that the Super Eagles had. Unai Emery was clubless. He was actually training in a boxing gym. This is not me telling you. This is a conversation that we had with him. I have it on tape, recorded. And Amadou Shaibu came in. Amadou Shaibu lived in the same neighborhood with him. And Joe Erico, they picked him for every game that Amadou Shaibu went. He went to play England in Wembley. He went with the team. Amadou Shaibu told him that, I might not play you, but every allowances that these people get, you will get. At the detriment, at the expense of a player who is playing club football, who is in form. It happens. So we must find the balance. It's all about finding the balance. These players in defense, would they be able to defend against Liberia and Central Africa and Cape Verde? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, true.
So let's move to the midfield.
All right. So the midfield, this is apart from the goalkeeping department, this is where we have the shortest number of players in the list. And it has been the case. We have always called few midfielders. So, but we have Wilfred Ndidi, Joe Aribo, Kelechi Iheanacho with a little asterisk, Frank Onyeka, and Alex Iwobi. I know you understand why I put the asterisk there. But are these guys midfielders? That's the question. Now, but Ndidi, Aribo, Iheanacho, Onyeka, and Alex Iwobi. Talking about Alex Iwobi, he scored his first goal yesterday.
Yeah, but
they lost that game by 2-1. So, what do you make of these midfield options? Is it
okay? So
enough?
When you look at the midfield, Wilfred Ndidi, Aribo, Frank Onyeka, Alex Iwobi, then you will not substitute Moses Simon for Kelechi, because in football today the wide men are considered more as midfielder than they are attackers. Okay, so Moses Simon is a wide man, he's a midfielder. Chidera Ejuke is a wide man, he's a midfielder. Samuel Chukwueze is a wide man, he's a midfielder. And then you now take Kelechi Iheanacho up. So what you actually do is you take 3 from the forward and put it down there and make it 7, and then take Kelechi Iheanacho from that one and add it to the guys at the top, because the forward players there, you can even add Ahmed Musa as midfielder, because in Douala he played as a midfielder. So you look at that squad and you say to yourself, a coach first of all needs to look for flexible player, not static player, because football as it is today, football is not what it used to be yesterday. A couple of days ago on this show, I said 2 positions that have gone extinct in football today is the number 11. It was on Saturday, number 11 and number 7 on the TSL. I explained it deeply. The number 11 and number 7 have gone into extinct, so much so that it depends on the coach you're having. Victor Moses would never play wing back if he was asked to do that in Nigeria. But when he played under a coach called Antonio Conte, a no-nonsense man who does not care who the hell you are, where you're coming from, whether you won the 2013 African Nations Cup, but if you want to play my team, you've got to play by my rules, or I kick you out of my team. Victor Moses, we saw him playing as a defensive player and as an offensive player. That he doesn't do in Nigeria. He runs forward. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I'm just telling you it depends on the coach. So that position where you say I'm in number 11 or I'm in number 7 is dead in football. It's completely dead. Even another position that is dying now is the number 10 position. They say, oh, I'm a creative midfielder. My job is just to link defense to attack. No, we don't do that anymore. White players are not linking defense to attack easily. So those positions are there. When you look at this team now, you see the Chidera is Ejuke. There is Samuel Chukwueze. There is Moses Simon. Before now, if you look at this squad, 4 players cannot make this team at the same time. Ahmed Musa Simon, Chidera Ejuke, and Samuel Chukwueze. It's too much. But the coach can fully fit these 4 players in, and you still have Igalo and Victor Moses or Kelechi Iheanacho in the squad. There are ways to do it now. Teams are different. Man City is a very good example. But it's not like Man City started. Pep Guardiola started this thing. Louis van Gaal have been doing it before. Louis van Gaal played a game with Ajax where you have Frank Rijkaard, Clarence Seedorf, what's it called? Matt Van Hosen, and Overmars, Finidi George, and what's the other guy, the pitbull? Edgar Davids. Yeah, 6 midfielders in one game. In one game. Against Ajax Split, against Bayern Munich, against AC Milan, in 3 times that they played in the UEFA Champions League or Champions Cup at the time, as they call it. 3 times. They played twice head-to-head in the group stage, 2-1, 2-1, and then they played in the finals. Okay? So these things have been happening in football. I mean, young generation today, this generation of people would think that Pep Guardiola started that crap where you have Fernando, Rodrigo, Fernandinho, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez, what's the 100 million pounds?
Phil
Foden, Grealish, João Cancelo, and the rest of them might be wondering, is it possible for 8 or 6 midfielders and 2.5 midfielders to be in the game? Coaches do it in this day where you are ball playing goalkeepers and ball playing defenders. So it depends on the tactics he wants to deploy. What Nigerians need the most is, are we going to win and qualify? Yes, we should win. Nigerians always tell you, oh, we want a team that will play well. Playing well is a matter of perspective. It's not a function of, what you want. Because I've seen teams, we played well against Central African Republic in Lagos. We lost. We played absolutely poor against the same Central Republic in Douala. We won. Nobody carried machete. Nobody got angry. There's somebody with a comment on YouTube. He says, is it Patrick? He say Nigeria get coaches. Now only Salisu Youssef we no good with the manage. Okay. Is it Patrick went further now? I say, boss, I always had this question, and I'm glad you have top knowledge in Nigerian football. Nigeria, yes, I use small letter N. That's in bracket, please. Why is it that some players always get called up? Okay, I've answered that already. Is it Patrick said, I'm glad I got this answer, a very honest one. Nepotism and politics in football. But it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere in the world. It's not just in Nigerian team. That's something we should clear. It's not just in Nigerian team. How did David Moyes become the coach of Manchester United? David Moyes, Everton coach. Silas Ferguson got him there. How has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stayed for that long? Manchester United is keeping him there because one, Silas Ferguson does not want a coach that will come in and wipe away his own history, like pretend like he never existed there. Okay, so he wants somebody that would still be cowed to him. So that's why the system is the way it is. It happens everywhere. It's not just in Nigerian team. You go to the US, the NBA, everywhere you turn, this things happen. It's just that we like to cry about our own too much. You understand? Yeah. We think that certain people do not have the right to be in the national team.
And when we say it happens everywhere, it doesn't mean we are saying it's right or we're trying to throw.
You can also say it's wrong. You know why? You can't say it's wrong. You know why you can't say it's wrong? There is a rule to football. The rule to football says clearly the coach have the final say on who should play in a football team. Right? So if the coach sits where he is and determine that's why his job is determined by results to the people who employed him. Because fans will never be pleased. The same fans who said match day 3 in the EPL, they said that Nuno Espirito Santo is the best thing that's ever happened to the club, and they want to ask for him to be fired when they lost to Manchester United. The same fans, especially if you watch Arsenal Fan TV, who were on Ateta and Edu saying, where did they get Ramsdale from? Where did they go to and bring a Japanese player, Tomiyasu, that they don't know before? So because you don't know the player, it means that the player is not good. You don't know the player because you're too focused on one league, you're not watching another league. It's not because the player is not good. There are some people whose responsibility is to watch other league. But you're saying you don't know the player. That's the criteria for saying the player is not good. Why do you go and get Ben White when people are getting Varane? That's what they said to Arteta today. What's the story? What's the score? The man who's the best thing since sliced bread or since Jesus Christ carried the cross from Owerri to Calvary has been fired. The guy who's not good, who does not know what he's doing, is the rave of the moment. He's also one manager of the month, just the same way Nuno Espirito Santos, one manager of the month. It's not lost a game since after Manchester City. Okay, he's made progress in the Carabao Cup. Man City is out of the Carabao Cup. He's gradually grinding results and going upstairs. And he's been getting some fantastic results. 3-1 against Spurs, 3-1 against Aston Villa. What's the other one that he played over the weekend? Fantastic result. Went to Leicester and won 2 goals to nothing. Playing very well, not conceding goals. Now they're playing, only a few teams can be rated better than Arsenal in the league. So because the fans are saying, because some people belong to a court of public opinion or WhatsApp opinion, does not mean they're right. It's just that we have to sit down and look back and say, okay, what are these people saying? Is it correct or not correct? A coach is the one, he will live and die by the result of his team. If his employers think that the result is good, he stays. If his employer think that, your result is not good, he's going out. The jury will always be out on any coach. There are people who think Arsene Wenger is the greatest coach to ever coach Arsenal. I think is the worst coach, that the worst thing that ever happened to Arsenal. It's a matter of opinion and perspective, right? We're not going to judge by that. We're going to judge by the people who employ him. And the result is been getting, especially coming from where we're coming, because progress is determined from where you are when I meet you. If, for instance, you were Dangote and then your business crashed, everything crashed, and you start dating a girl when you are broke and homeless, nobody's going to say that this girl met you when you're Dangote. You're homeless, broke nigga. That's who you are. And from that place, that's where they're going to judge you going forward. Yeah. If in your life things begin to get better, that girl contributed to your life. Is that not how they judge divorce matter? What you made when I was with you, when I suffered with you, is what we will share. Especially if there's no prenatal. So that's how we look at football. The coach is the one that will have the final say. There is not a single list that any coach will make for Nigeria that would ever please everybody. Let's be honest. True. There's no fair list. Just win. Make sure that the people you select against people's expectation give you the result. Yes. Stephen Keshi, before they talk about how the NFF Megari did, Nigerians almost kicked Stephen Keshi in 2013 for picking Sunday Umba, for picking some players that nobody knows. What happened? We went to the Nations Cup and we won it. When Stephen Keshi eventually picked rubbish players and went to the World Cup, Nigeria said, let's leave him. He knows what he's doing. It's the country that we live in. We got Shola Amobi that doesn't know any road, any street in Nigeria.
All right, so just to let the listeners know, we felt he wasn't in the last sport, but good to see him back. Was on the bench for Leicester City in their last game. So for him to be on the list, we're looking forward to seeing him turn out for the Super Eagles in that doubleheader against Liberia and Cape Verde.
Before you go further, let me read some messages on Facebook because it's really flooding. I don't even know where I stop again. I think Kenneth said, like a swag this morning, boss. Why we Conte take Spurs jobs? Still don't get it. Well, there is money, and then they've guaranteed him that they will give him the free hand to run the rules. There's a caller coming in. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Uh-oh. I don't think I can get this caller in right now. Just not connected. Okay, so Matthias Olowadamilariaba, he says since Saturday the app has been wonderful. There's no breaking of what? Okay, thank you very much for that update on our app. Malam Abdullah Bied Azman, he said, boss, good morning. Is Nigeria not losing its identity as a football nation, most especially the Falcons, with the influence of foreign-born players to the national team? Is it not affecting the performance on the pitch? I don't think I'll come back and answer that, but let me take this call. Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Talk to us. I think what happened to him is using the app. He didn't turn the app off, and then he made that call.
Because his first line repeated again.
Yeah, that's the app is not talking on his phone. You have to turn off your app when you want to call us anyway. Turn off the radio. Okay, so let me answer Malam Abdullah. I've seen this on the WhatsApp group too, and it's funny. You know why it makes me laugh? Nigerians are running to Canada, US, Europe, one by the dozen. Like not every, I'm not part of them, but most Nigerians would even sell their kidney and their liver just to relocate. We're not losing our identity when we do that. We're going to better our lives. When the basketball team brings in these foreign players to come and play basketball for us and we win the African Championship for 2019 and 2021, we're not losing our identity. Why do we think that when we invite the footballers from the abroad and come and play, that's when we're losing the identity? I didn't know Nigerians. They are Nigerians, so they deserve. Your identity is not because you stay in a place. Your identity is because you come from a place. So Chinese people can live in America all their lives and they are still Chinese people. Same way Jamaicans can live. John Barnes was born in England, even though he's the son of a Jamaican soldier, but he's still a Jamaican, though he played for the English national team. So identity is not a question of geographical location, but it's a question of connection and what you choose to be. So you can be black. Look at the French players, for instance. There are more African players playing for the French national team than original white French players, but then their identity is French because that's what they've chosen. If they were born abroad and they chose Nigeria, their identity is Nigeria. Taiwan sports journalist Ibrahim says, right on, I Igbadun you. You went down memory lane to drive your point home. Awesome, thank you very much. Abraham Iboy say, Boss Elevator, good morning, nice one for you. Thank you very much. Abraham Iboy say, I'm happy to listen to you today. God bless you, bro. Emmanuel Sebastian, back to you. Sorry, but I have to connect with everybody.
So still on the midfield, with the returns, Alex Wobi as well was injured the last time out, didn't make the squad, but he's back in the team. Innocent Bonke, who's been in the last squad, is knocked off. Is no more in the list.
I heard he got a little knock.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that anywhere. But Bonke is not in the squad. But it will be Onyeka. Onyeka retains his place. I mean, he was.
It's gonna be hard to kick that boy out of the team.
He was majestic in the previous game. So Onyeka, Aribo, Ndidi, Iheanacho, and he will be listed as the midfielders in this 24-man squad. Now moving on to the forwards, where the major talking point is, we have Ahmed Musa.
Yep.
Moses Simon, who doesn't seem to convince a lot of people, when it comes to the national team. There's
only one person that is convinced that Moses Simon is the greatest player in the world. My brother from Delhi, I've forgotten his name, but I remember later.
And he's still in the squad. John Igalo making a return 2 years and 5 months since he called his retirement from the national team. Victor Osimhen as well. I mean, General, as always says,
the poster boy of the team.
He's the number one, the first striker. Paul Onuachu as well, still in the squad. Chidera Ejuke, who's looking like becoming a mainstay.
Rashida Tajibade is watching us on Instagram. Our poster girl, beautiful girl.
Hello, Rashida. Say hi to you.
Superstar player.
And we have Samuel Chukwueze.
I love Rashida to the bone.
So we're talking about Samuel Chukwueze the last time, how he's going to be a shoe-in if he's fit to make the squad, and he's back in the team. So what do you make of this forward line of John Igalo's return? And I mean, Awoni has been scoring goals.
That's sad. That's a tad bit sad.
One of the sad parts for me from this list. I'm looking at Amamoui now. I'm sitting down. I'm just thinking.
It's time will come. It's time will come.
But what do you make of the return of Igalo and the forwards that have been called up?
Okay, straightforward. Igalo is my friend, and I don't like the fact that he's coming back to the national team. I'm going to say that. I don't like the fact that he's coming back to the national team. But, listen, I've always said that my personal opinion have nothing to do with how the team goes. Once you wear the white, green of Nigeria, I will support you to the death because it's not about you, it's about Nigeria. Anybody that is doing anything for the good of Nigeria, I give them my support. That's, sometimes I feel bad when I critically analyze some of these players. Okay, they are Nigerians, they deserve to be supported, they deserve to be pushed up. And people sometimes don't get it when I try to really elevate our players, whether it's the women players or the male players. The truth of the matter is, it is not easy to represent 200 million people. Yeah, it is also not easy to be selected. Everybody in Nigeria is a coach. And if you give everybody a chance to pick the Super Eagles, we will pick different teams. But one of the things that I've learned in life is, if we support the man who is there today, tomorrow somebody else will be there, and it will be easier for that person to go. So, Ojo coming back. Ojo, does he have goals in him? Yes. Does he understand the environment? Yes. Has he worked with the coach before? Yes. It checks all the boxes that are available. So it's hard for me to argue against his coming back, because all of the argument that I'm going to put forward against Ojo coming back are not footballing arguments. They are sentimental arguments.
One of those arguments is the fact that we have options.
Good. And
these players are not being used. Why bring back a player who's retired?
But the coach, Ganotro, have already helped us to answer that question. And in football, you stick with the coach. Will you go to AC Milan and say, why are they giving Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who is 40 years, an extension on his contract? Would you go to Old Trafford and say, why did they sign Cristiano Ronaldo when they have Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, Cristiano Ronaldo is coming and he's blocking their growth? No. You would say that. Or would you say that why is Messi in Paris Saint-Germain, or why did they sign Sergio Ramos when they could have brought in defenders from the academy? Football is supposed to be productive, right? But the coach has said that, yes, I have all these players, but there is something missing in my team. I'm the one that work with this team. I'm the one that fellowship with them. I go to bed with them. I know them more than you people do. And there is something missing in my team, and that thing is experience. Yes, he has displaced a player that I love dearly. Tawa Woni. Not like I don't love Ojo. I love Ojo too. Like, man, Ojo is my man. You know that. You've seen us hang out together. You've gone out with us too. But would he bring that value of experience? I want to watch him over these 2 games. I want to see the body language. I play football so I could watch a team and tell you, oh, something is wrong in this team. My only problem with the Super Eagles over the course of the last number of matches that they played, the people who are supposed to represent leaders in the team don't talk. They are all deaf and dumb. Truth Ekong, Leon Balogun only talk when he's off the field. I don't see him talking on the field. Steven Keshi was a great leader. Sonolisa was a great leader. My all-time greatest football player is Sonolisa. I don't care what happened off the game, but on the field of play, he's my greatest all-time. And that's why sometimes the jury is out on Rashidi Akini because he's always quiet, he's always keeping to himself. But Amokashi, you might not like him off the field, really likable person because he's very brash, it's controversial like me. But on the field of play, that guy is going to drop every blood. So you look at the field, the field of the Super Eagles team, there is no leadership in the core. So let's look at the core first. Maduka Okoye is going to be our number one goalkeeper unless he's injured. Still a kid. You saw him at the court. He's still a kid. He's shy. He's always putting his head down, not even bold enough to talk to people. True Second, who I think is really coming into form, discovering himself, showing some part of him that I like. I saw him up close and personal at the court and I saw what he was doing. Nice one, fantastic. And I like what he's doing with his channel, what he's doing right now on social media. But I need more of that when they're playing matches. I don't see that much. So let me use Arsenal goalkeeper, Ramsdale. When Arsenal played against Aston Villa, you saw that point where he considered the goal. Arsenal had already won that game. That goal didn't mean anything. You see how he was shouting at his mate. That's football. That's what made people like Seaman, Jens Lehmann, Peter Schmeichel, and the rest of them. What made them great? Peter Cech. What made them great? Ike Casillas, and the rest of them. What made them great? Their ability to command their team. And then you look at the midfield. One man who is very experienced, but also very, very quiet. He doesn't even have the time to talk. Seems like if he talk, ice cream will melt in his mouth. Is Wilfred Ndidi. So you need a man like Odion of Manchester United over him is still a very, very big one. Like it or not. Well, he's a former Manchester United player. He shows up in that dressing room. He's banging goals in the Premier League, a league that some people are dreaming to go play in. Some people have really not established themselves very well in that league. He's banging goal a lot. And he's got Victor Osimhen who looks up to him, see him as a mentor. You could see the camaraderie between the two of them and all that over the couple of years. So he comes in and he brings in that leadership that you're looking for. He comes in and brings in that sense of direction. That's why sometimes when I hear people say, Asisa Toshoala should retire, like, what the heck are you saying? This is the Megan Rapinoe of the Super Falcons, right? Or maybe. No, just build the team around them and put people around them that will work very well for them. I also think that Odion would make people like Moses Simon and Chidera Ejuke, release the ball more and pass more instead of hanging onto the ball and dribbling too much. Because sometimes I think that a lot of people look at Victor Osimhen like a small boy. They still look at him like that. That's a boy. You understand? But you won't do that with Odion because if he calls for the ball, you will give to him. Go watch AC Milan. That's what Zlatan represents in that AC Milan team. That's also what Cristiano represents in Manchester United. Yeah, he might sometimes stifle the team, but you need him. We will do all this analysis, say all these things that we want to say, give our opinion. At the end of the day, I want to see him in the match situation. I wish, but I don't have the time. I've got some other things to do. I wish I was going to be a fly in the wall in the camp and see what Odion's presence brings to the team. But I think it's going to bring some leadership. It's going to bring some stuff. But I still feel for Taiwo.
Yeah, we really feel for him. And you're talking about seeing Odion Ighalo up close and training, and it's something I really became to do as well. This time they're in camp, really to look at the body language and everything. Talking about experience in the goalkeeping, we have Akpay is experienced. It's the oldest amongst the goalkeepers. Is number one. Defense, we have that as well. But in that number 9 position,
in the attack, we don't. We have kids playing up front.
When you talk about experience, people look at there's Musa, there's Balogun, there's Zomero, there's Yobo as well. Part of because these are experienced players. But looking at that attacking, we
have kids. The core of our attack is Moses Simon, Victor Osimhen. I wouldn't even put Paul Anuachu there because he doesn't talk, he doesn't even start. Chidera Ejuke, Samuel Chukwueze, Kelechi Iheanacho. Kelechi Iheanacho is a class clown, right? He plays a lot. I'm not gonna hold up that against him. That's good, you need it. But is he really a binder? I don't think so. Ahmed Musa is old, but Ahmed Musa doesn't really come across to me. I've seen him up close and personal. Ahmed Musa is that kind of guy who wants to be in his own space. Because one, Ahmed Musa is not a good communicator. Let's not forget about that. Ahmed Musa, that's why he runs away from interview. Ahmed Musa will not be excited to do interview like you would have a Trustekong. Trust is a bowman. He's streetish, even though he grew up in abroad, but he's a thug. Leon Balogo is the, I will say it how I feel. Who want vest, make it vest. If my vest too much, I go back to my Europe and I don't come back again. But Ahmed Musa, that's why they call him the governor. He's a politician. Okay, he smiles here, he smiles there, but he knows where his strength lies and he uses it well. So I think bringing in Odion Ighalo would help Osimhen in some ways, but I'm yet to see it, right? We still need to watch them play and see whether they can have that synergy together. It's hard, but hey.
And I feel Guerrero is doing this. He wants to win. He wants to win the
AFCON. Because there's pressure on him already.
And he's doing what he feels will help him to win. A lot of people are not seeing it from this angle. This is the same manager. If he goes to the AFCON, let it just work out. We pray this work out. That is when we can say all this. But I feel he's doing what will make him win. He's saying that before.
I think the fixtures, does not really favor him. So the timeline, the timetable, the football timetable for 2022 does not favor him. So he's not going to go, let me give it a try, I have a World Cup. He knows if he goes to the AFCON, for instance, we get knocked out in the group stage, he's fired. He knows if we get knocked out in the quarterfinals or even the semifinals, brings another bronze, he's fired. So he wants to attack the World Cup from, okay, where's my area of strength? I can't improve this defense anymore. There are no defender added that I can add. This midfield, I will still struggle, but I am blessed with forward players. Now I need a guy. If you go back and watch that interview, you see where he was talking about Odion. That was the only time he was animated. The only time he got emotional.
I was explaining to people. He smells
goal. He knows the goal.
I was telling a colleague this yesterday that you need to see Guerrero's expression when he's talking about Ighalo.
So when he talks about Ighalo, a coach that does that, it's like Pep Guardiola and Messi, or Xavi, or Jose Mourinho and Drogba. There is just that thing about these guys. Every coach needs that. Arturo Vidal and Antonio Conte. He will sign him everywhere he goes to. Okay, so there are players that coaches always use as their handbag. If Odion Ighalo becomes that guy for him, let's not forget, Odion Ighalo was the top goal scorer in the qualifiers for the World Cup and the AFCON, right? And then became the top goal scorer at the AFCON itself under Genetro. See, coaches fall in love with players like that. Rashidi Yekini and Clement Vesterhoff. Okay, so I wouldn't come here now and change the rules and say, oh, no, it can't happen. You just have to go on. Let's see what happens thereafter. But we have 2 games in the World Cup qualifiers before the Nations Cup in January. But then does well step into the World Cup. Only sad as it is, it's an emotional argument, not really a footballing argument. So you can let that slide and say he's still got many years in front of him. I mean, the fact that he's not really played consistently in the past doesn't do his case very well. Another thing that did not help his case that a lot of Nigerians are not looking into, the one game he played, he came in, changed the tide of the game, had 4 chances to bury the ball in the net. One or the other, nerves did not make him score those goals. Coach Genetro does not have the room for a player having nerves right now. He knows how Nigerians are putting the pressure on him. They are choking him right now. He doesn't have that room for, he will learn on the job. Remember when we first started in 2017, 2018? Anybody that will call in, I don't know, but if you teach me, we teach people. That's why we have Pablo and the rest of them. Today, I don't get room to teach you. If you want to work with me, come with something. If you don't have substance, get out of my space. I don't have that time. So times are different. Genetro knows that he's on borrowed time. You can't be on the job for 5 years, going to the 6th year, and there's nothing tangible. There's nothing to win. There are people that have been on this job only 2 years. They won Nations Cup. They qualify for what? So what do you have? You don't have anything. The excuse of, when he came in, we are not qualified for 2 Nations Cup will not be tenable anymore. So the man is trying to get his trusted allies, a mercenary, people who know football, who understand football, to win it for him. I might not agree with all his decisions, but it's not there for me to agree with his decision. That's the place where we need to know. Do you think when I walk into the delivery room with my wife 3 times, you think I agree with everything that the doctor is doing? You know, it's like you think I agree that a doctor comes in and puts his hand on my wife's matrix and say 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters. I don't agree with it, but that's his job. He's got to do his job. When they were trying to save my leg from amputation, in the Russia hospital. I don't agree with almost all the things that they do. They put a clamp there and they were simulating blood flow from a machine so that my leg does not get paralyzed. I don't agree with the pain that I was going through, but it's got to be done. The words of Larry Zamoji, blood must flow for a baby to be born. Somehow, Machiavellian principle, it takes one kingdom to fall for another kingdom to rise. We would argue this thing from now to eternity. Truth of the matter is, the coach has the final call. That's why he gets paid the money he gets paid, and that's the reason why he will get fired. Not me. I will still be here doing my job as the CEO of this company and as the host of this show. But Genetro might not be doing his job there again. So let's leave him to take his call, and then let's see how the team evolve in the process. I know some people argue, okay, go and bring back Victor Moses. Does Victor Moses want to come back? Go and bring back Mikel Obi. Does he want to come back? This guy wants to come back. That's why he got invited and he didn't turn it down. So let's enjoy it.
Yeah, and I believe for him to make this decision of coming back, I mean, he's prepared for whatever comes of it. I mean, these players know what they want. He's had to turn down your national team. I was reading his retirement quote on Instagram. He was saying it's one of the most difficult decisions he had to make. I think this decision of coming back as well, was equally difficult because I believe he's seeing the comments from Nigerians. He's seeing the reactions and everyone.
Me and Joe were chatting last night, and I told him, I said, Joe, and you go arrest me if you not do well.
And the fact that I think the fact that he went to Saudi Arabia, a lot of people think Igalo is maybe finished. This we were with Igalo as a president. This is a man who had offers. How he talked about Jose Mourinho, called him to come to Spurs,
and they're still calling him now.
So not like he didn't have offers in Europe. People see him playing at Saudi Arabia and they think John Igalo is finished and he's doing it in Saudi Arabia.
They gave him an offer to come to this Sevilla, but it's just looking
at. He had offers in Europe, so it's not like he's gone to Saudi Arabia or John is finished and everyone. But I mean, we support the team. We support as long as it's wearing the Super Eagles jersey. I mean, we should just end the drama and support the team.
We're supporting
support the manager, and let's just hope the result comes up. For those who are listening, the Niger Players GPS show
is coming up next. I gotta go.
And stick around.
Thank you very much, guys. Emmanuel Sebastian, you are fantastic. You have a way of keeping me longer than I expect to be here. But thank you to the fans for always being there with us. Thank you. Malam Abdullah bin Aman. Thank you very much. Bin Aman, is that the guy in Saudi Arabia? The crown prince of Saudi Arabia? That was thank you. That was Sports journalist Ibrahim. Thank you for joining us. Ode Kenneth, Matthias, Luada Milari, Akandi, Johnson Daly, Daniel. My guys on YouTube, Chooks Pascal, sorry for coming late. Izzy Patrick, Ibidakwa Ibikule, Isa Arturo Lupuli, thank you all, and everybody on Instagram. God bless you. Hiroike, love you. You didn't answer my daughter's voice note, so she's on my neck, so you gotta go respond to that one so that I play for her. But thank you very much. God bless you. And coming up next is the Nigerian Players GPS show.
My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio.
Whoa, this is nice.